Yes, I will keep smiling. You should join us soon. Yeah, yeah. We're here. Good to see you in the room, guys. So,
Yo,
yes, brother.
how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Even better now you're here. You
Yeah,
know,
no, it's only right. It's only right. It's only right. It's only
as I was
right, man.
saying, I was just telling everyone, this is where we have our interviews, or how do you progress interviews. It's all about a growth mindset community. It's all about each one teach one. It's all
Yeah,
about how we share the wealth in the community
yeah,
as
yeah,
well.
yeah,
And I'm so happy to be able to invite you into this space as well, because we've had the opportunity of working together.
yeah,
In a
yeah, yeah,
sense, I've met you on, on one of our shifts in regards to the youth, and the way that you did deliver to the young people as well is something
yeah,
that, that is, it's a rarity, but something that's needed. We've had this conversation before. So I want
yeah,
you to
yeah,
present a space where other people could come into the conversation, and as well, you could give them those gems or those highlights in regards to your journey,
yeah, yeah,
generally.
yeah, yeah,
So
man. I'm here.
yeah, it's about building the community, sharing experiences,
Yeah, yeah.
networking, and yeah, all the above. How are you, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Can't complain, man. Life treating me well right now, man. Just journeying on, literally.
Yeah, I could imagine. And I guess being in regards to mentoring, it is a journey, and in regards to being an artist, it's a journey as well.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
and
yeah.
you handle both sides, and being able to edit as well. There's a lot of skills that you have yourself
No, I
as a
appreciate
community
you.
leader and engineer,
No, I
and in
appreciate you,
regards
man.
to time to grind as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. A
Mhm.
lot of things are going on. There's a lot. Ugh. You know, you saying it to me sometimes. You saying it to me just making me remember, like, rah, I'm doing all of that.
Yeah, when you hear it back, But you are, brother, you are, which is good.
Yeah, we're trying,
Definitely.
man. How are you, though, man? How you been?
I'm good. Well, pushing on, trying to do as much as we could do within the community, and it's the same as you say. There's so much to be done. Sometimes it's hard to even monitor how much you're doing and
Yeah,
keep the balance as well, so you can
yeah,
keep that consistency.
yeah, yeah,
Everyone
yeah,
has
yeah,
their own pattern or own way of doing it, but I guess that journey's been interesting.
yeah, yeah,
Just
yeah.
me,
That's
but
good to hear, though, man.
yeah, about building and growing. But talking about journeys, could you tell us about where your journey began?
All right, cool. So, the first, if we're talking music, yeah, and the creative arts, yeah, the journey first began when I was in centre. So when I was in year 11, I got kicked out of school
Okay.
for the second time. They kicked me out of school in year 11. So I first got kicked out in year 8. Then I got kicked out in year 11. But when I got kicked out in year 11, they sent me to a PRU, so a referral unit.
Mm-hmm.
And across the road from the referral unit,
Go ahead, sir.
there was a studio. And they gave us the option to go down there once a week, every Thursday. So I went down there, used to write music and record music. I didn't want to be a musician, but when I was writing music and recording music, it's like everyone in the room kind of, they liked the vibes and the music that I was
Yeah.
making. And then let's say maybe a couple years later, I'm like 17, 18. Um, I moved out of my crib for a while, started staying with my friend in Lewisham,
Okay.
and he was an artist, him and his friends. So when I used to go down there, they would, you know what I'm saying, instrumentals running, everyone's
Yeah,
chilling,
yeah. And you're
vibing.
from Lewisham as well, yeah? I wonder if I know.
So obviously, I was the outsider. Like when they would be
Yeah.
doing their thing, their little artist stuff, I would just be there watching. From the,
You're peeping
like,
in.
do you know what I'm saying? Just peeping, like praying, like, I could do that. And then one day I jumped on a freestyle just for banter. I jumped on it, and then when I jumped on it, it was like raw. Like everyone started going off in the room, like raw. We need to take you studio, whatever, whatever. They took me down to the studio. We made a song, and the people that owned the studio at the time, called Plush House, they wanted to make a group. So they wanted to sign us on a group stuff. So like everything happened mad quick. Like like it was
Okay.
literally made a song, freestyle on a beat, went studio. Next thing you know, I'm signed to a label. I'm in a group now. Like mad quick. Like everything
Wow.
happened like boom. And then we was in the group for a while. The group dynamics weren't really the best, so it was always difficult, like progressing with the group. because everyone kind of wanted to go in their own direction.
Yeah, I could
Yeah.
understand that as well. I've been in a group as well, music groups as well, and I guess different energies as well. Everyone wants different things. I guess it's hard to sync everyone when you're in a group.
Yeah, literally. So, what we did was obviously split up. And while I was in the group, everyone was telling me, "Yo, Lo, go do your own thing. Go do your own thing, whatever." So I said, "You know what? Might as well just try it." Started making music myself. Started Time to Grind, and when I first started Time to Grind, it was more of like just like a I don't know. It was more of like a form of expression. You know what I mean? It was like a form of like, cool. How can I express myself in a way where like we're gonna be like man's gonna push this way of life and this mentality and mindset, but in a way where in a way where it's branded positively, in a way where it's like I'm pushing it.
Okay. I need to ask you something on that, because me as an artist as well, I kind of feel did you first step out as an artist when you thought about you expressing yourself generally? Did you first of all think, how do I do this in a positive way? Because me myself on my own journey, it was just about expression first. But now, as time's gone on, I've thought about the responsibility in regards to what I express. Did you always had that mindset from the get-go, and why?
Yeah, kind of, but I always knew that like there was always that conscious thought in my mind, like if I'm gonna make music and I'm gonna like push a certain mindset, a certain mentality, a certain like voice, that I don't want to lead people to the grave. Like I've never been, anyone that's known me knows I'm always someone that's always gonna tell you to do the better thing. Like I'm not gonna judge you for your decision, but if you come to me and say, "Oh, I'm in a situation," the advice I'm gonna give you is always gonna leave you better off. I'm never gonna say, "Oh yeah, go do that now," and because I can tell you to go do that, you go do it, and you go jail. You know what I'm saying? So I've always been that type of guy. So with music, it was just about scaling that up. And like with Time to Grind, it was like I wanted to create a platform where it's like it's just a different way of life. Like it's just creating a new lane where it's like you can be from the ends and whatever, but at the same time you ain't got to always fall into that same category. You can kind of like push through, duck and dive through the system, and just keep progressing.
So you had a good idea of what you wanted to express, so to speak, before you even
kind of, man. Yeah, like I knew, obviously, me and my brethren, like he just joined as well, belongs to Yard Dom. Like we spoke a lot about like purpose and destiny in life and destiny in the journey and what you're doing, and making sure that if like whatever man does it with purpose, with positivity, with some sort of substance.
I'm gonna draw you back a bit to because you said you was in a crew, you was excluded twice, and you got expelled, I think, year 11.
Yeah.
So you was out by year 11. So what made that happen? Because I'm thinking of the crew you now making these big decisions in regards to like how you wanted to express yourself. How was you able to do that? And was you not able to do that at school?
At school, they didn't really give me the opportunity to because I was in trouble. So I was always like, I was that kid. Like there'll be 10 of us not in class, they'll shout my name. Like I was that kid. Like I was always in trouble. So it's like I didn't really have much space to express myself in school. When I went to centre, it was a reality check, because it was like then I had to decide whether do I want to take my life serious or do I just want to like do what these other people are doing and just do whatever they want to do. Like, you know what I'm saying, leave school early. Like when I was in centre, like when I first joined, they offered me like 3 GCSEs. But I was top set for my subjects in mainstream school. So when they said 3 GCSEs to me, I said, what? 3? Yeah. I was predicted A's and B's. How did I get that? Do you get what I mean?
How did you take that? I'm dealing with a lot of young people that are actually in that position.
I can't lie. I'm a direct guy. I went straight to the I love Tally. I went straight to the I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you lot sharing love, man. I appreciate you lot, man. I appreciate you lot. But I went straight to the head teacher. I said, yo, if you can't get me more GCSEs, I need to go. Because I'm not gonna you need to transfer me to another Peru where I can do more. And then me and him was talking and we negotiated that he would let me do an extra 7 GCSEs. But I had to teach myself. So after centre, at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, when everyone's going home, I'm staying till 6 o'clock with a textbook in the head teacher's office. Learn general studies in a week. Learn da-da-da-da in a week. It was torture. Oh, it was torture.
That's inspirational.
Shout out, it was torture. When I say it was torture, I remember looking out the window and I'm seeing everyone, 12 o'clock, everyone's going home, Get me? They were outside smoking, chilling. I'm just in the head teacher's office, just looking at the
Yeah.
thinking, bro, sacrifices. But
Yeah.
at the same time, them sacrifices paid off, because then when it came to GCSEs time, I got B's, C's. I got better GCSEs than some people that were in mainstream school. So it was like, right, it's not really about
So you
where
doubled
you're
down.
doing it. It's more about what you're actually doing. Like, if I probably had that same mindset that I took when I was in centre and applied it in mainstream school, I probably would have cleared off with the GCSEs.
Yeah.
But I didn't understand that. I didn't understand that concept of, it's not about where you're doing it. It's more about what you're actually doing.
Yeah, yeah. It's that work that you put in. So that's good. You actually doubled down. When you actually heard that you weren't getting what you wanted, you said, you know what? No, let me have these
From
hard
early.
conversations. What's needed? What's
Dom,
the
remember,
negotiation? What do you
Dom,
need
I know
from
you
me?
remember, Dom, because you was there. We started drinking coffee and that. It was crazy, man. It got crazy. GCSE period, because he was in centre as well, wasn't it? We both went to the same school. We both got kicked out. He was in centre. His centre was across the road. We was in the same situation. It was like, we had to slug it out all day, all night, revising. But it paid off, you know what I mean? I ain't going to complain. It paid off, and it taught us valuable lessons as well, because that was the early stages of grinding and, like, actually just forgetting about
it was time to grind.
excuses.
It was time to grind from early.
Do you get what I'm saying? Before TTG was grinding, so it's only right that we just put a good platform on it, man. We put a name on it and put it in the light, man.
All right. So mentoring wise, what made you step into that in the beginning of mentoring?
No, word on character building. But yeah, mentoring, it was a lot of like, so it's funny, this mentoring story is funny. So when I was in centre, the studio people used to be people that used to mentor me. So Chris Cyrus and Ski. Yeah, Ski was a producer.
Chris as well.
So what happened was, I think earlier this year I must have been somewhere, and I seen him, and he gave me his card. I was like, I've seen you before. You look familiar. And he looked at me. He was like, yeah, you look familiar too. He was chopping it up. Then I realized, rah, you're the guy that I used to go to the studio with when I was in centre. Like, you lot were the first people to ever put me in a studio.
Mm-hmm.
And then he remembered, and then we chopped it up. And then obviously he told me that he had a mentoring program that he's doing, the same one that I was on, innit? But he said that he wants another youth mentor on the program. And it just somehow fell into place that I just fell into perfect place. He offered it to me, and I said, you know, it makes sense, because obviously where I'm at in my life now, and because of where I've been, I can relate to a lot of these kids deeper.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I see that it's funny because actually met Chris through a different pathway. That's good. Good to see the love in the room as well. I met Chris through a different pathway in regards to mentors, and it's funny knowing that you both kind of had linked. And I saw you obviously at Palace for Life, where you were delivering there. And it's exactly as you say, having like the experiences that you had with your delivery, because a lot of the young people that I was with have been in like alternative provisions to mainstream school.
Yeah.
You know, and I saw your engagement with those young people, and the connection was very real. It's almost like it was their language, and they had never met you before. You know, and I think it really made a difference, the fact that you could bring your experiences into your delivery. You know, so I think you definitely was meant to meet him. you know, and bring that mentoring into the artistry as well.
No, it's mad. It's mad the way life works still, man. I appreciate working with the kids as well, man. It gives you another, get me, when you're growing up, and you're especially doing something like music where the lifestyle gets very fast, sometimes just sitting in the studio with a kid and just chatting to him about life, it's like, it slows you down. It gives you that reality, like, where it's like, you just remember, it's back to basics, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's
I appreciate working with the kids.
Yeah, because I think even in regards to sessions that I've done before, music-wise, when I started stepping into mentoring, I realized that musically, it presents such a good space for people to talk, for people to politic, for people to express themselves, you know. It just presents a good space for people to learn about themselves.
Yeah.
Definitely.
100, man. 100.
What would, another question. What would you say was something important that helped you throughout your career? An important skill or mindset or quality that helped you to get to where you are today?
I think, boy, one of the most important skills I probably had to have is determination, man. Like, I've been knocked down so many times, and it's like, oh no, love my bro, man, love. You know, you gotta put in the work. Real life.
There's been days where I don't. Oh, me and my big fingers. You can keep. There's been days when I don't know, want to attend studio. Lolo has texted me saying, nah, you're coming. If you want to live large, you got to put in the work.
It's
Yeah.
just the reality, innit? We all want nice things in this life, especially in our generation where we're seeing all this nice stuff on phones and that. So get me, if you want that, you got to put the work in for it. But yeah, back to the conversation, back to the what you were saying, the question. Determination, man. I've been knocked down so many times, and like with my journey, I've never had no one really helping me. Like I've had no one to really step through and say, "Yo, Lo, let me take care of this for you," or "Lo, I know this person," or "Lo, I know that person." It's never really been that. I've always watched other people have them type of setups, but me personally, I wasn't blessed with that setup. I had to really get it from zero, and that comes with a lot of like setbacks, a lot of like failures, a lot of like trying to set things up and then things not going into fruition, things falling in your face, everything just messes up. It's like, but I think the determination to keep going has kind of showed me that no matter where you are in your journey, how bad you think you're doing or how good you think you're doing, if you keep going, then you're gonna hit that checkpoint. And that checkpoint's gonna just remind you, right, you're actually on a journey. Because you know sometimes you can get lost on the journey and you forget you're even on a journey.
So do you as you say that, do you set yourself clear checkpoints?
Yeah, man, I'm a checkpoint guy. Like my whole journey checkpoints. Like I say to myself, cool, I need to. These are the things I want to do. I'd have main focuses. So like this year, my main focus, because last year I didn't drop no music videos on that end. This year, my main focus was making sure that my content is of a good production value. So whatever content I release, interviews, music videos, whatever it is clean. That was like my main focus this year. At the beginning of the year, I said to myself, well, my main goals, whatever I release, I just want it to look proper. Like I wasn't really too focusing on the numbers and all of that stuff. I was more just
Quality
focusing
control,
on the output, quality control, literally. And once I hit that checkpoint, that's when it was like, all right, cool. Now I've got to start performing. I'm good with the content now. Now I've got to start hitting shows and start getting on the stage, build up my stage craft, my stage experience, and that's what I'm going through now. Just trying to just build up that, while at the same time trying to just make sure that I stay focused on keeping my quality control of that level, so I don't let that slip.
And there's another thing I wanted to touch on. As you said, the skill discipline, you definitely a credit for a lot of your progression. Not the only thing, but you definitely a credit.
Yeah.
But as well, with you saying that you had to keep on persisting, and some people had a support network that you didn't have, like seeing you work as well, it seems as though maybe not having those support networks have increased your skill set in general, because you just had to get it done. A lot of stuff I had to do by myself.
I had to learn how to do by myself. Like a lot of stuff like engineering, editing, like a lot of stuff I had to learn to do by myself. A lot of things, there was no one to really help me with it. Like a lot of stuff I had to just get up and just say, all right, cool, how do I do this? Go on YouTube, boom, 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 try it out a couple of times until I built up a certain level of skill where I said, all right, cool, yeah, that's calm, I'm good now, I'm good.
You know, I got to ask you this question, and this is actually even for me, even in thinking, when it comes to, like you said, you had to really build yourself up or whatnot. How do you know now, when you've got all of your skill sets, what skill sets to sort of say to yourself, you know what, let me leave that for someone else to do, even though I can do it?
That's a transition I'm going through now.
Okay, interesting. Say
so like delegating and trying not to do everything myself because you physically can't. So that's a transition I'm going through now. But even then, like I leave a lot of things to God, like in terms of like my journey. So I try not to be over controlling. Like obviously I'm very impatient. I don't like waiting. I like to just do things. Let's go. But sometimes you got to slow down, innit? Sometimes you got to just take it easy, go back to the drawing board, look at everything, look where you're at on the journey. How close are you to the checkpoint? What do you need to do to get to the checkpoint? What's stopping you from getting to the checkpoint? And then like just moving more closer in that direction.
Okay, so you step into a bit of an evaluation space. You step back and say, you know what? Before I put my foot back on the pedal, let me see what the journey looks like.
That's the transition I'm going through now. So that's why the whole delegating and like really like building up the team around me is important. But I think we've been working on that, man. We've progressed. We've come a long way still from last year to now. We've come a long way. Like the camp's come a long way still. Everyone in the camp, everyone for whatever they're doing, whether it's the speakers, the motivational speakers, the artists, the produce, like everyone's kind of just slowly progressing in their craft, and that's the main thing. The main thing's progression, man. As you said, we progress. Have to.
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna say as well, in regards to challenges, man. Question I have for you is, what challenges have you faced, and how have you overcome them? Like, what skill have you used to overcome the challenge?
Alright. So one of the main, a big obstacle in my journey, because I didn't have much support, was like finances, like finding money to pay for stuff and
Yeah.
like music videos, studio sessions, and that. But
And they're
what I
quite
learned,
pricey.
very. But what I learned was that, I mean, if you if you learn the process of something, you can always do it yourself. So like with like studio, instead of paying the £20 an hour, like me, Face, some of the man, then we just we got our MacBook, learn how to engineer ourselves, started going to our own studios without a producer. So it cut the costs, and it just allowed us to be a bit more creative and have more creative control in the direction that our studio session went in. That's one thing. Another thing is like setting up events and stuff like it's just mad sometimes when you're trying to do something and you haven't got the backing that you need, because it means that anything can fall apart mad easy. So like I've had a couple of times I've tried to set things up, like listening parties and whatnot, and they've just completely sold all the tickets the day, like day before, 2 days before. The owner of the venue got to go home. You don't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like the cold one. Like I've been there a couple times with egg on my face, and I'm just like, why? But what I realized is that, I mean, look, that came with the journey, and what that did is it taught me that when I'm moving now and I'm progressing, even if it means it's got to take longer, just do it proper. Like, don't try and skip the process or skip steps, because you always come back and, do you know what I'm saying? You always regret it and say, oh, why didn't I not just, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's almost like a lesson is repeated until learned. So better you learn it first time around.
Just learn it, innit? Literally, just learn it, because you don't want to be in a position where you've got an event sold out and the owner of the venue's telling you that the event's not happening anymore. It's like, whoa.
And that reminds me of, because we had a conversation a bit before here. They're not privy to the conversation. We was talking about highs and lows.
Yeah.
And I guess sometimes from looking in, especially when it comes to the entertainment industry, a lot of time people feel like it's all the way this, all the way scaling up.
Definitely not. Definitely not. Any of the men that are in this chat right now can look in my eyes and tell you that it's not. They can look deep in. See that one there, Face? If you're still there, it's not all highs. Trust me, not all highs at all. Like,
so
we probably had more lows than highs.
Those lows.
On our journey, we probably had more lows than highs.
Okay.
Like, real. Like, if I'm being honest, we probably had more lows than highs. But it's just that when the highs came, they made up for all the lows that were before it.
Okay.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. So that,
like,
I guess that discipline, that's why that discipline was so essential. Because you're going to take a lot of lows.
A lot.
Before you get those highs.
Them lows, that's how you prepare for the journey, innit? So like, people always wonder how I am who I am and all these things, but they don't realize that I've taken so many L's, so many like, do you get what I mean? That's the difference. Like, if you want to be like Lolo, you got to go take 100 L's and then come back.
Yeah.
And then you might start sounding a little bit like me and looking a little bit like me, like in terms of the determination, the drive.
It's the learning. It's the truth.
It's the learning, man. It's part of progression, bro. It's the one part of progression that we don't really like to talk about or like to put no limelight on it. But it's the one part of the progression that probably helps you progress the most. Because without all the obstacles that I faced, I would have never had the insight that I have now, which helps me, which guides me. But at the same time, it's a journey, innit? Like, whatever you go through, just don't let it stop you from what you're actually trying to do. Don't let it like make you stop. Like, sometimes you might want to take a break, and it's fine. Sometimes you might need a moment, whatever, but never ever stop. Always make sure that once you've dusted yourself down and you've gotten through whatever the situation is, you get back up, shake it off, keep going, even if it's that one step at a time. Because I know 100% that majority of all of the situations and all of the obstacles that I've been through, they don't even matter anymore.
Mm.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Now,
in the moment they mattered,
Yeah.
But in the big scheme of things, they don't really matter. So it's just about finding that balance between being in the moment when you take the L and processing that, because you need to process the L. You can't go on as if that's not an L. You got to process it.
When you say process the L, what do you mean by process the L?
I mean by sitting in your bed, looking up to the sky and reflecting on how this even happened. Reflecting on who went wrong, where you went wrong, what you could do better to better it. How, like, do you know what I mean? Like, actually deep in that.
That's very important what you touched on there. You know, and now you actually explained it as well. Like, giving yourself time to actually understand why making the loss a learn, you know?
Yeah, 100.
Yeah, which is
Like,
good. And giving yourself space and time to do that, because sometimes I think when you experience something you don't like, you can be quite keen to just say, all right, I don't like it. As soon as it's done, I just want to push it to the side and keep it moving.
And just what the problem with that is that it kind of halts your growth, because, and that's with anything in life. That's just not even with the journey in your career. Anything in life, yeah. Anytime you go for a period of negative, something negative happens, like that period of reflection is so vital in terms of your progression, and because you could go through something that, like, your journey could be like this. You go through something that knocks you down, but you took that moment of reflection here. When you was here, instead of trying to just fight your way back up and then going through that, you took that moment of reflection. So that when you did go back up now, there was a bit of consistency with it.
Yes.
Because you knew where you went wrong. You dotted your I's, you crossed your T's, you folded everything clean, proper, you made sure that it made sense, and you just moved in that direction.
Now you could build on it, which is good. That there's a good few gems you've let go on your within this conversation in regards to discipline, you know, that you needed, setting clear checkpoints.
Yeah, man.
You know, and actually having a
checkpoints,
clear
man.
vision, and as well being able to reflect when you do take an L, it's not a loss, it's a learn.
Everyone
take that
takes
time
L's.
to look at it.
Like, everyone, there's nothing you can do about it. Everyone takes L's. Everyone. There's no one in the world that is living life without taking L's. Everyone takes it, and it's just about what is your process once you take the L.
So our next question for you, I'm going to start rounding up. But what keeps you motivated?
There's a couple things that keep me motivated. Firstly, like my family, like the whole camp, like the whole time to grind, and that's everyone. That's the nephews, the nieces, the mums, the aunties, the uncles, the cousins, the brothers, the man them, the sisters, like just that whole family setting, and knowing that what I'm doing is bigger than me, and that it's not just me trying to blow up as an artist and just trying to be in the limelight. It's more deeper than that. It's a whole way of life that was learnt from a young age. It was a level of love that was birthed in the hood, in a house in the ghetto where all the man would go to. And when your house situation's mad, you can go to this house, go to Ramos's house, and that's like the second home. And how Auntie Jen kind of trained all of us to have a certain level of
your community motivates you.
Do you get what I'm saying? That's what motivates me probably the most. And then, like, even like my spiritual side of life, and just knowing the purpose that I have in my music and the gift that God's given me, knowing that when I put my music out, I can inspire and help so many people just through me speaking in a way like that motivates me as well. It's like I train myself to think that when I'm making songs, I'm making a song for someone in the world that needs to hear it. Yeah, I've been that person before that needed to hear a song, heard it, and song just helped me. Yeah, in whatever dynamic. Do you get what I'm saying? So now I try to flip that script and make music in a way where it's like, if there's no purpose and meaning to the song, if I'm not actually talking about something, then I won't record the song, or I won't really release it, because I'm not trying to make music just for the sake of making music. I more want to make sure that the journey is a journey of destiny, a journey of progress, a journey where it's like you can pinpoint my mindset in each part of the journey. Like when I go back to my old music now and I listen to Lolo when he was 17, and I hear what he was talking about, then I listen to Lolo now, it's like, okay, so I can see the progression.
Yeah, you can see your growth.
There's a steady progression in my character and my personality.
There's another question that does come to mind. What would your advice be to a 15-year-old Lolo, a 15-year-old version of yourself? What would your advice be?
A 15-year-old version of Lolo, I'd probably tell him to, like...
This was just before you got expelled, by the way.
Just before I got excluded, 15-year-old Lolo, I would have said to him, look, bro, you're going to go through some crazy things, but just endure it. Like, don't ever feel like you're counted out. Because so many times in my journey, I felt like I was counted out. Like, the way people spoke about me, the way people treated me, like, I just felt like I was just counted out, like, just completely. Like, even Dom will tell you, there's been so many times me and him have just been in situations and we just feel like we've just wrapped it completely. Life is done now. We wrapped it. We made the ultimate mistake. Like, I remember when we first got arrested. And it was like, oh my, it was like 14 out of ends. Madness. Like, I thought, after that, yeah, we're done. That's it. It's done. But I would say to him, yo, just endure whatever life throws at you, endure it. And know that it's a part of the process. Don't
Can
get
you
caught up
remember
in.
if you think back, like when you say, when you got nicked or you got arrested or whatever, what was the point after like that low where you was a bit like, bro, there's no coming back from this. This is a heavy, you know.
Yeah.
What was the changing point?
Time.
Okay.
It was time, man. It was just time. Like God, that's how God works. God, like it's mad because sometimes I forget it myself. Like I'll be going through situations and everyone will be telling me, "No, don't worry, man. Time, time, time." And I'm just thinking, ah. But it's like when I look back to them situations, it was nothing I did that made anything better. It was more just about time, and because I was young, I didn't have a choice. I had to let time do what time does. But
Yeah.
with like just making sure that my mindset didn't set me up, it was like cool. Time just started working in my favor after a while. Like, for example, when I got kicked out of school, it was crap for the first month, 2, 3 months. Then I'm in centre. Then I'm starting to do my GCSEs again. Then I don't know, they made me head boy of the centre. It was like with time,
Yeah.
everything started rebuilding back up. And it was like, okay, so the story's not really done. Like no matter how much you think your story's done, your story's never really done until you're dead. It's just about how you wake up that next day and say, all right, cool, what am I gonna start a new chapter today?
Yeah.
Am I gonna keep living an old chapter? Am I
Yeah,
gonna
that's very
with
true. I'm
time,
glad you
man?
touched that because I say that to a lot of our young people. The fact that sometimes
Yeah,
they take a L moment, you know.
yeah,
I have to say
yeah,
to them, hold on, yeah, well, a loss. It was a loss. You took a
yeah.
loss. But
Happens,
what's your
innit?
choices look like after this moment? Like
Mm,
after this now. That's
mm.
that's the important bit. You know,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
might have
yeah,
been a
yeah,
bad
yeah.
choice now, but what do your choices look like onwards from here? Are they the same? You
Literally,
know?
literally making sure that the time that you use after the situation has happened works in your favor. Don't let that time work out of your favor. Make sure that
Yeah.
time works in your favor because there's always gonna be stuff that happen out of your favor. Like if people knew my life and all the stuff that I've been through in my life, like all the ups and the downs, the trilogy, like the tribulations and that. Like now it looks all good, but before it didn't look pretty, man. You get what I'm saying? It didn't look pretty, but with time and faith, like actually having genuine faith in your journey. And sometimes in life you gotta find faith. Like sometimes, literally, you got wins and losses. You got to embrace both of them. But sometimes
Yeah.
you got to find faith.
True.
This is what a lot of people don't realize that. Like sometimes faith ain't always gonna be at your front door.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to go and speak to that person to get faith. Sometimes you got to go to church to get faith. Sometimes you got to travel to that place and see that sight
Yeah.
to get faith. Sometimes you got to just experience that internal feeling to get faith.
That's
Sometimes you got to
that's
watch a
very
music
true.
video to get faith. Faith,
It's very
faith is
true.
like
I definitely
inspiration.
hear that.
Sometimes you got to journey to that faith. You got to, because that journey is the faith. So
Yeah. It's
so
crazy.
without you,
Actually, at a moment last week, funny enough, where I was actually feeling quite low in a sense. You know, when you're doing this, that, and the other, and like it was a difficult time to actually thought, you know what, this is a lot. And then
yeah,
just on the other side of that, like someone said, all right, you got to give me a call. And I'm like, do I have to do this? And I gave them a call because I had to journey, as you say, I had to
yeah,
journey to the other side or whatnot. And then when
yeah.
I gave them a call, they bust me and I was like, yeah, you got this and this coming your way, you got that and that coming your way, you got
You
this
know what I'm
opportunity. And I'm
saying?
like, okay.
And once you heard that, that was that confirmation of faith
Yeah.
in your head. Like, okay, I am on a journey. All right, say that. Yeah, I am on a journey. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's faith, man. Having that journey and journeying with the faith and actually looking for it. And like I've been in times where my faith's been mad low. Like man's dropped a music video or something, and the views are just crap. Like no
Mm.
one's tuning into it. I'm here thinking, bro, like how's no one tuning into man's music video? Like man put so much into this, like get me. But the faith made me go and do another music video
Yeah.
where they did tune in, and there was a better reception, and so and so on. So it's just about journeying with the faith and just, yeah,
I'm
man, just
building.
literally.
I really respect your journey. You have so much gems to offer now and onwards from here as well. Because if you keep on that pattern as well, trust me, you know, because
Nah, I
you're
appreciate you.
evaluating and yeah, just please connecting with
Yeah,
these young people and make them learn those skills as well, so they can improve
yeah,
their journeys and journey to the
yeah,
best version of themselves.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, but I'm gonna round up now, so to speak. But yeah, we covered a lot, and there's still more to cover. Like I feel like there might be a time we have to connect again, bro.
Part two, you know what I mean? We'll have to do a part two for them or something one day.
Yeah,
100, man.
because there's so much in your journey, in the skills that you've had to
Mm.
acquire, you know, to
Yeah,
be where you are now in regards to
yeah,
your discipline and everything.
yeah,
So, you know, and then building time to grind, which you guys seem like such a well tight knitted family.
Yeah, man.
that have all
Yeah,
got your
100, man.
experiences as well, and you've managed
Yeah,
to do that. As you said, you embarked on a group when you was an artist,
yeah.
first time over. It seems like being able to connect as a group is something that you've more or less you've got down now.
Yeah, yeah, man. Like, yeah, man. The collective happened so naturally as well. Like when we first started Time to Grind, there's only a few of us that would like get me, Dom, a few people. But then when we branched out and more people got involved, it was like it just grew. Like it just everyone that had that inside of their heart and had that mindset and that energy where they knew that this way of life is something that I would want my little brother to live. This way of life is something I'd want my little
Yeah,
sister to live. Being able to do stuff and actually tell your mum. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like it's such a
yeah,
different, it's such a abnormality in man's life and how man grew up. Like man so used to do it, like not telling my mum anything. She had
yeah.
no idea what man was doing out here until man come home in cuffs one day. And it's like, bro, mum,
I
it's
can relate.
crazy. But it's like being able to just do positive stuff, go back to my mum and say, yo, mum, like I did that. And my mum can actually be proud of me, hug
Yeah,
me, tell me that she's happy with what I'm doing, she's proud of me. It's like that's what it's about. Like that's to me, that's priceless. Like that's
yeah,
the priceless stuff about the journey. That's the kind of stuff that will give you the faith.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? When you're feeling low and then you see Mumsy and you talk to Mumsy and Mumsy told you, yo, look, like I remember when you was in this
yeah,
situation and you was that, but look at you now. Like now you're actually trying, like
yeah.
you're in a better space, you're in a better position. So it's just about journeying, man. Journeying, man. It's a journey, man. Even
That's
now,
powerful.
I'm 22. I'm still on my journey. Like I can give you these gems, but sometimes I need them myself.
Yeah,
So
no,
you get
that's what
me?
it is.
Anyone in the chat
It's
got any
push and
free
pull. It's
gems?
push and pull. We help each other, bro.
Hit me in the DMs. Free gems, hit me in the DMs. I need them.
Yeah,
All of them as well. Because right now I need them. I need all the
trust
gems I
me.
can get.
And it's just that this is a space to connect, and it's exactly that we use it for as well. So we're going to be back
Yeah, man.
next week as well to let everyone know
Yeah,
we're going to be back. And we're just having conversations to be had in the community, whether that be
yeah,
about knife crime, finances, whatever we're tackling at a moment in time that needs to be
yeah,
heard. It might
yeah,
not be on mainstream news, but it's
yeah,
important to have the conversations ourselves,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So we'll be doing that as well.
No,
And
proper, man. You lot do
yeah,
good stuff,
and then we'll
man.
be
You lot
having
do good
another
stuff.
how do you progress interview, bringing people in from the community as well.
Yeah, man. That's
It's
sick,
important
man.
to have
That's
that
sick.
space. So please as well, hit up Lolo if you're doing anything that connects with the same energy, same frequency, or you need help with something as well.
Hit me
Connect.
up.
We're a
I'm not
network.
bougie. I reply to my DMs. I'm a normal guy, humble, like mad humble. Hit me up. Anyone that wants to just get any sort of insight to anything, man. Just feel free to hit me up. Like I had one singer hit me up recently. Like I just saw her in my DMs. Talking, I was just connected. Like hit me up. And like if you know anyone that wants to get involved in what we're doing, we're launching our creative agency next month. That's just for 15 to 18-year-olds. Any creatives that just want projects where they can build their portfolio, but they may not have the resources or the connections to be in that environment. Take the application, man, because like a lot of opportunities are around us, and we can provide a lot of opportunities right now for the next generation, for like younger youths and that. So anyone's little brothers, little cousins that are into creative industries, get me little sisters, nieces, nephew, whatever it is, they're into music, video making, modeling, fashion, any to gaming, streaming, anything like that. Tell them to get involved, man. Take the application, man, because we're just trying to create that community, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna spread that to a few of my young people as well. It's
Yeah,
needed. We
man.
need to share the wealth. There's wealth there to be had. We all
Yeah,
have
man.
wealth.
Yeah, you lot
But
of
sharing the wealth.
these kids, they got a lot of talent, man. These kids have a lot of talent, and they're not really utilizing it. And there's not many platforms where they get to come together as a collective and utilize it. So that's what we're trying to do with the creative agency. We're just trying to create a platform where them kids can come together and work on the project, whether it's a music video, single, a whole single
Yeah.
release, whether it's a whole press shoot with one of the clothing brands on my branding team, whether it's a short documentary, interview, whatever it is, whatever the project is, trying to put them to use.
Perfect. And I've seen you work, so I know you make sure that delivery hits the individual. Trust me. So, all
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
Say nothing. Lolo, thank you so much for joining us today and
No, I
giving us your
appreciate you,
gems.
man.
I'm sure you're going to return
I
soon enough.
appreciate you, man. What is there a way we can save this interview? Like, is there a way we can save
Yeah,
this?
it's saved. It's saved on the gram. It's saved on the gram and whatnot.
Yeah,
So we
yeah,
have it
yeah,
there. And that's the idea. So people can always revisit. Someone could
yeah,
join
yeah,
us new a year from now and still be
yeah,
able to come and engage and say, you know what, how do I feel about music? Who's this person? And tap in
yeah,
and
man.
listen through and then get them gems. Because that's how we share. Each one teach one.
Nah, each one teach one, for real, man, for real. I
All right,
appreciate you, yeah.
brother. All right, take care. I'm gonna let you enjoy your evening.
I appreciate you.